Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating. We're looking at a highly persuasive promotional script that takes direct aim at the multi-billion-dollar dental industry. We're going to objectively deconstruct the core arguments behind a product called ProDentim. It's wild because we'll be analyzing exactly how this pitch attempts to totally redefine our understanding of oral health, basically shifting the focus away from traditional dentistry and pointing it towards something microscopic, the oral microbiome. It's honestly a masterclass in persuasive structure, so let's just get right into the mechanics of this argument.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source material kicks off with a super provocative question. It's designed to immediately grab your attention, right? It asks us to consider if going to the dentist is just treating symptoms rather than actually solving the underlying problem. The presentation frames traditional dental visits as this endless, really uncomfortable loop. You know the drill, literally. You go in, let them poke around, get a procedure, pay a massive bill, and then a few months later, the exact same issue comes right back. This is the primary hook of the whole pitch. It's a bold, controversial claim that the industry isn't really fixing your teeth, but rather just managing your symptoms to keep you coming back for more.
That brings us to Section 1, the dental industry loop. Let's see exactly how the presentation builds its foundation, right here. And this brilliantly illustrates their point. The argument frames the traditional dental care system not really as a bastion of healthcare, but as a carefully constructed, profit-driven business model that actually thrives on recurrence. They really amplify that frustration using deep financial pain points. We're talking about escalating out-of-pocket costs. A basic cleaning runs anywhere from $75 up to $200, a filling costing up to $300, and a single root canal reaching a staggering $1,500. The script emphasizes that insurance barely even covers these costs and makes the bold assertion that the average American spends over $1,000 every single year on dental care alone. So why does this matter? Well, by positioning standard care as a perpetual cycle and quantifying this massive financial drain, the material perfectly primes the viewer to desperately want a cheaper, permanent alternative. So let's move on to Section 2, the oral microbiome theory, because here is where the pitch pivots entirely from dentistry to biology. After firmly establishing the problem, that costly, painful dental loop, they introduce their core physiological theory. The argument is that your mouth is actually a living, breathing ecosystem, heavily dependent on billions of bacteria. This cleverly shifts the narrative from mechanical fixing, like drilling and scraping, to biological balancing. It tells the viewer that the answer isn't in a dentist's chair, it's under a microscope. To explain this ecosystem, the source creates a really strict, easy-to-understand dichotomy. On one side, we have the good bacteria. According to the presentation, when these beneficial strains are thriving, they are the true drivers behind strong teeth, healthy gums, and fresh breath. On the opposing side are the bad bacteria, which are squarely blamed for the entire host of dental nightmares: cavities, inflammation, tooth sensitivity, you name it. The central thesis here is that your oral health completely depends on which side is winning this microscopic battle. The mouth, the material claims, was actually designed to naturally heal itself, provided it has the right environment and the right balance of these opposing bacteria. But here is where the script delivers a massive provocative twist. The presenter states, the good bacteria in your mouth are being wiped out by the very products you're using to keep your mouth clean. I mean, wow, that is a fascinating rhetorical move. The argument suggests that the chemical-loaded toothpaste and mouthwashes pushed by commercials and dentists your entire life are actually the villains of the story. By claiming these everyday, trusted products kill off the good bacteria just as fast as the bad, leaving the mouth defenseless, well, the source effectively tells the viewer that everything they thought they were doing right is actually exactly what is causing the damage.
And that brings us to Section 3, the ProDentim solution. Now we enter the big reveal phase of this classic persuasive structure.
The proposed solution is ProDentim itself. The marketing material takes great care to explicitly distance this product from traditional dental care. They make it very clear that ProDentim is not a toothpaste and it's not a mouthwash. Instead, it's defined as a first-of-its-kind oral probiotic. The stated formulation is specifically designed to artificially repopulate the mouth's ecosystem with beneficial bacteria strains. The ultimate claim presented here is that by utilizing this probiotic, you empower your mouth to fight decay, protect your enamel, and naturally heal your gums from the inside out to permanently break that costly dental loop. Now, what's really interesting here is the number 3.5 billion. That is the massive quantity of beneficial bacteria strains the source claims are packed into every single dose of this product. It's an incredibly huge number, obviously meant to convey potency and scientific weight. It serves to reassure you, the viewer, that this isn't just some slight, unnoticeable tweak to your routine. No, it's pitched as a massive biological reinforcement for your oral microbiome that will totally overwhelm the bad bacteria. To contrast the perceived difficulty, anxiety, and pain of traditional dentistry, the presentation heavily emphasizes extreme simplicity. The daily routine is broken down into 3 incredibly easy steps. Step 1, brush your teeth as usual. Step 2, pop 1 single ProDentim tablet in your mouth. Step 3, let it slowly dissolve. That's the entire protocol. The material makes a deliberate point to highlight that there are no complicated routines, absolutely no harsh chemicals entering your body, and most importantly, no painful procedures. It positions this biological repopulation as an effortless, soothing alternative to the dreaded dentist chair. Moving into the final stretch, we reach Section 4, User Claims and Guarantees. Let's look objectively at the specific mechanisms of social proof deployed to close the sale. The first massive piece of social proof deployed is this really impressive number, 95,000. The source directly claims that ProDentim has already been used by over 95,000 people across the United States. Coupled with a supposed 4.9 out of 5-star rating, this figure is carefully designed to create a powerful bandwagon effect. The implicit, reassuring message is that this isn't some experimental gamble. It's a proven, widely adopted solution with thousands of highly satisfied users who've already taken the leap. To ground that massive abstract number in relatable personal stories, the presentation fires off a series of highly specific testimonials. Listen to this first one. After 6 weeks on ProDentim, my dentist actually asked me what I changed in my routine because my gums looked so much better. This is a brilliant rhetorical device. By having the fictional or real dentist validate the product's effectiveness, the argument cleverly uses the very authority figure it initially attacked to prove its point. It essentially borrows the dentist's authority to give the probiotic immense credibility. And the persuasive momentum just continues with a second, even more dramatic testimonial. Quote, "My dentist told me I needed a root canal. I decided to try ProDentim first. 2 months later at my follow-up, he said the tooth had stabilized and we could hold off on the procedure." This specific quote perfectly circles back to the severe financial anxiety they agitated earlier in the presentation. It tells the listener that taking this simple probiotic didn't just improve their breath or make their gums less inflamed. It allegedly saved a patient from a $1,500, highly painful root canal. It assigns a massive monetary value to the product's supposed success. So the crucial point is how the presentation ultimately de-risks the purchase. The script breaks down the specific sales mechanics to basically remove any final hesitation standing in the way of a sale. They offer the product for as low as $49 a bottle when bought in bulk bundles, throwing in free US shipping to sweeten the deal. But the ultimate closer is the 60-day money-back guarantee, promising a full, no-questions-asked refund if the user doesn't see results. Interestingly, the material ends with an urgent warning to avoid third-party sellers, like Amazon, insisting that only the official website carries the authentic formula. This instantly creates scarcity, fear of missing out, and a strong sense of exclusivity right at the point of sale. And that brings us to the end of this compelling pitch deconstruction. We've seen exactly how the presentation brilliantly structures its argument. It identifies a painful, costly problem in traditional dentistry, blames it on a microscopic imbalance caused by the very hygiene products we trust, and then positions their high-dose probiotic as the ultimate, risk-free biological solution. It's absolutely a masterclass in persuasive problem-agitate-solve marketing. But analyzing all these claims leaves us with one incredibly fascinating thought to chew on. Looking past the aggressive sales tactics, the massive numbers, and the guarantees, we kind of have to ask ourselves, is the key to oral health actually hidden in our bacteria? Thank you for exploring this source material with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.